Randler. Pick another question, darling.
Somebody has a sonic screwdriver.
Who's got? Oh, someone's got a sonic screwdriver. You don't scare me. I have 14 of them.
I should have brought mine.
Sorry,
God
go
damn
on.
it! But I don't.
If you could add another season of a show to any show that you were in, which one would it be and why?
I feel like it better be Oron. Okay, so this little thing we like to call anime, you may notice there's kind of a trend. The shows that are really long sometimes just end with a lot of loose ends, a lot of things untied up because, it's like, oh, hey, we didn't get funding to finish it. Happens a lot, as it does with normal television and things like that. So any of the shows that I would love to see carried on, Oron, I will say, is not one of them, but because I love it so much, I think it ends perfectly. And I think it's really important for a show to stop while it's still good. And I love it when a show stops with just enough unanswered questions that the dialogue among the fans will continue for years and years and years. Like, do you think they wound up together? Do you think this happened? Blah, 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 blah. I don't want to see Oron, the shitty college years. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. And if it leads you to the manga, because you want to see how the mangaka handled it or how they did it, that's awesome. But I really think Oron, for me personally, as much as I'd love to go back in the booth and reprise that role because it was formative for me, and I love Oron. I watch it once a year, the entire series, because I honestly believe it's another one of those shows. It's one of the best I've ever gotten to be part of. But I don't want any more of it because I think it's perfect as it is, right? Having said that, there was another show that I really had fun writing on, and you may be here in the audience, but there was a girl that came through my line yesterday who was like, oh my God, your work as a writer, this was so great, thank you, and I really appreciate that because I don't get a lot of compliments as a writer because we're kind of invisible, as we should be, I believe. But Legend of the Legendary Heroes. That was a really fun show to work on as a writer, also to act in, of course, but as a writer it was fun because it's one of those huge kind of sandbox universes where it's like an exercise in world building. There's all these characters coming from different backgrounds, different classes. They all use language a little differently, so it's fun as a writer getting to sink your teeth into such a variety of characterization. Also, the main character, Reiner, played by Ian Sinclair, my good friend Ian Sinclair, who scares the shit out of me as an actor because he's amazing. Seriously, the only reason the rest of us get work in this industry is so Ian can sleep. But his performance as Reiner is one of my favorites. It's just so off the wall and brilliant and so quirky. But that show ended with kind of like, there's a lot going on. We're kind of like in the middle of all these major epic, possibly, things going on, and it just ended. There wasn't another season, and I was like, I really want there to be more of that. Also, Spice and Wolf. I'm sorry, I was saving that for the end. Thank you. But I love Oron, but I like it like it is. I don't want to see them in college. College does things to you.
Yes.
Okay, I have a question. Can you answer this question and ask Sebastian?
Where are you? I don't see
Right
you.
here.
Oh, there you are.
Okay. Would you rather kill all the cats in the world or not be able to eat Seal's soul?
I don't like you very much. That's a really mean question. Would I rather not be able to eat my own master's soul, or would I rather kill all the cats in the world? I think I'll go with not eating Ciel's soul, because it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do that anyway. Thank you for bringing up such a painful subject. Meow. Next question.
Hi. I'm also a Doctor Who fan, but
Nice.
I know every movie hates this question, but who's your favorite Doctor?
I can honestly say, okay, I have a complex answer. Oh my God, you have how did... Before I answer my Doctor Who question, darling, first of all, can I just say you look amazing, and my question to you is, how do you go to the bathroom with that on? Like, very carefully.
I don't eat or drink anything all day, so that way I don't have to go to the bathroom.
So not eating or drinking all day is a preferred method for carrying really heavy things on your back. Awesome. admire your stamina. My favorite doctor is all of them because they're all the doctor. Having said that, you know, you never forget your first doctor. Mine happened to be Tom Baker, so there will always be.
Yes.
And here somewhere, making hilarious observations, and with that wonderful wide-eyed, shit-eating grin of his and that amazing scarf. If I ever met Tom Baker in real life, I think I would just faint. He's one of the few that I'm like, hi. But if really pressed to think about it, my favorite doctor, if I had to pick a favorite of the ones I think who's probably one of the most important doctors to the franchise as a whole, I always choose number 2, Patrick Troughton. And the reason being is because he was the first actor to take up the mantle of the Doctor and to give it a completely new spin. Billy Hartnell, who played the first Doctor, you know, was everyone's Doctor. Everyone. He was the Doctor. Imagine watching your favorite show now that isn't Doctor Who, and the crew decides to change the main character. It is now played by not only a different actor or actress, but with a completely different style, wardrobe, everything. Most of you'd be like, the hell are you doing? Why have you ruined my show? That's the kind of hate Patrick Troughton had to deal with, because everyone loved William Hartnell. But William Hartnell, for health reasons, couldn't continue, and he was getting bored of it. You know, after 3 years of working in television, the schedules really gets to be overwhelming. So Troughton came in, and Troughton did 2 things. He first of all convinced this audience that was very devoted to Hartnell that the Doctor could be played differently by another actor, and that it basically proved to an audience that the Doctor is not just a personality, but an entire universe, a cosmos of personalities unto himself, of which each incarnation is just one. And so he was able to bring that to the franchise, and if he hadn't done that, the show would not have been 50 years old, because, you know, Patrick Troughton died in the 80s, you know, he wouldn't be alive now, to be still playing him, right? But he also did something unique to television, and that was science fiction was still kind of a fledgling genre in television in the 60s, right? And so you saw a little bit, but not a lot. You had things like Outer Limits and Twilight Zone and things like that, but especially in British television, they were worried about, you know, these kind of worn-out tropes and production values. Like, can we make this giant monster? Can we have these big plans? It costs so much money to build this stuff. Hartnell, the first Doctor, didn't really like the sci-fi angle so much. By the last season that he was on board, you have to understand, he was senior member of production, so what Billy wanted, Billy got. And Billy preferred the time travel, like historical dramas. So he would insist to the writers, well, let's set this during the French Revolution, or let's set this in you know, Elizabethan England, you know, some proper televised costume drama, because that was Billy's background as an actor, and that's what he liked. He also thought it was more educational. So they stayed in the early Doctor Who stuff. There's not as much travel to different planets and stuff, especially by the 3rd season of the first run. When Troughton came on board, Troughton was such a big kid that he kind of came on board and was like, oh yes, I love all the monsters, let's do it. So he gave the writers carte blanche to, like, let's go to this planet made of ice, and let's revive the Cybermen, let's bring the Daleks back, let's do all this, let's make giant bugs, let's have the Yeti, and let's have this thing made of paper mache and tinfoil running after you down these endless corridors. So Troughton really contributed to the soul of the show in a way that we now know it to be. So for that reason, I will always admire Patrick Troughton as my favorite Doctor. Thank you.